Now, you guys know Sephora is my second home, but Ulta's been a lot more comfy lately. Have you seen the launches of the drugstore makeup? They're really good, like really, really good. So I placed an order at Ulta and I'm gonna be testing 8 viral drugstore products that I have a lot of faith and confidence in. I actually just filmed one a couple weeks ago. I mean, we had like hourglass dupes in there, and I think we might have a second round of those today to mess around with. Just some things I'm really excited about. Like, I got one of each of the new formulas of the Milani baked products. They just redid their line. I'm really excited about this Lumi Bronze from L'Oreal because it looks like the perfect bronzer color. This is not viral, but it's relevant to me because I love the foundation. This is not drugstore either, but About Face launched a new concealer. I'm gonna test the NYX foundation. I don't know about this one, but I'll give it a go because they've had some good foundations in the last year. The Morphe lip liners, I used to love those. They have new ones. And then I've always wanted to try this CoverGirl Outlast lip stain. So I have some exciting stuff. I'm really excited for today. Oh, also, I will be posting a shorts version of my Ulta haul. There is going to be a $100 Ulta gift card giveaway on Instagram. So make sure you're following me on Instagram at morganturner makeup. Head over there. The post should already be up if you want to enter for that quick little giveaway that I'm doing. But anyways, let's put it on my face now. I have NYX's newest foundation. This is the Makeup Wonder Soft Matte Buildable Foundation. Now this one is a skincare infused foundation that provides up to 24 hours soft matte buildable coverage that covers everything but feels like nothing. Normally, those don't align, but we'll see today. I went with shade 06 Light. I hope it's not too light for me. Definitely want to shake this up. It has this style packaging. Okay. Not too wet. Oh, okay, might be too light for me. Sometimes light at the drugstore is like orange on me. Sometimes it is like this on me. Let's see, we'll blend it out. Oh my gosh, no. I ordered this online, so I didn't get the chance to go into store to see the shades. But I think I've been overcompensating lately because I've been buying so many foundations that were too dark for me. So now I've been like, okay, let me buy the lighter foundations. No. You know what? This matches my neck. Could be a little bit lighter. I'd probably go with shade Vanilla or Light Nude, knowing what I know now. We'll make it work. We will. Honestly, this is blending out gorgeous, like butter. You see that? So easy. I'm using my IT Cosmetics number 7 brush. This is my favorite foundation brush. Yes, it's very clearly a little light for my forehead, but we'll make it work. People get so offended by when I wear foundations that aren't my perfect match. I'm not that bothered when a foundation doesn't match me perfectly because I feel like I can aid it with bronzer, blush, highlight. There's lots of tricks. And you know what? You just take it off at the end of the day. I've never really been bothered by a non-perfect shade match. Of course, it's a win when you can, but if you know the tricks to help it out a little bit. What I do find harder, I don't love a foundation that's too dark. I find that one can be a little hard to escape from. I'd rather a bit on the light side. Anyways, I'm loving the way this foundation is blending. Considering my skin is kind of crusty right now to begin with, I think this is sitting pretty nicely on the skin. I can see that it's definitely not a blurring foundation. I know they say it's like soft matte and typically that does blur, but I can see it kind of sitting into some pores here on my forehead. Now, this is at a disadvantage being a little bit of a lighter shade for me because it's just more visible, but it does feel really lightweight. It does have that soft matte finish, lighter side of medium coverage. I can definitely see all of my freckles through. slightly emphasizing dryness, but nothing crazy. I like it so far. I really liked the way that it blended out. So not bad. We will continue this, but it does feel really comfortable, flexible on the face. However, I do tend to look for something more perfecting, a little bit more blurring and just smoothing overall, and that's not what this is giving me, but I think it's fine. The next product, this is not Drugstore. I've just been wanting to try this. This is the About Face Illusionist Skin Focused Concealer. Now, the foundation version of this was one of my favorite foundations when it launched, and About Face is actually pretty affordable. It's kind of in between high-end and Drugstore. I mean, this concealer is $22. A weightless, dermatologist-tested concealer disguises dark circles, camouflages uneven complexion, medium to buildable coverage, natural luminous finish. I just really, really loved the foundation version of this, so I'm hoping that this is similar. I'm using an A506 brush from BK Beauty to blend this out. Let's see. Okay, blending out really nice, just like the foundation. I'm really loving the application today of these products. Now, remember, my skin is sitting a little bit dry and a little crusty right now, but I just want to preface that, like, I don't have the best canvas right now. Don't suggest anything for me. I'm literally 9 months pregnant. That's why. I can't use my normal products to try and combat this. So we're just going with it, and if a product can sit well on it, then it's a good product, and I think this is looking pretty nice on the eye. I would say a medium coverage. It's kind of leaning more natural. I was hoping for a little bit more coverage, but I think it looks good, and it's doing its job of brightening, concealing. Did I tell you which shade I got? L1 Neutral. I typically prefer L2 Neutral for the foundation of this, if you're a fan of the foundation. It's not as creamy as I was hoping it would be. The foundation version of this, I feel like feels creamier and thicker, but I wouldn't say a luminous finish either. I think it's more of like a natural finish. But anyways, the thing with concealer is we gotta see how this wears and sits on the under eye over time. But so far, I like it. I'm not obsessed. I also want to do a wear test with this, pairing it with the foundation to see how it does. But overall, I'm thinking it looks really nice. It's not catching onto any dry patches. It's very thin in nature. I was hoping it was a slight bit more thick and creamy, but smooth. But it looks good. Medium coverage. Probably could have used a little bit more, but that could also make it more dry. A like, not a love. Ooh, I'm excited about this. I have a new product from L'Oreal. This is their Lumi Bronze Lace Stick Soleil Bronzer. This is $12.99. It's a cream to powder formula that swipes on and melts into the skin to give a sun-kissed glow. Sets like a powder to keep bronze skin glow in place all day. That's interesting. Now this shade in particular I was excited about. I got Sun-Kissed Rosé because they say this is a universal warm rosy bronze or blush. So kind of like a bronzer situation. It does look like they do have more traditional bronzer style colors, but I just wanted to try this. I couldn't help myself. Let's see this cream to powder that they're talking about. It feels really slippery. Just like a true cream, if I'm being honest. A little more orange than I thought. Spreads out nicely. Does it become more powdery as it blends? I suppose it does. You can see it did lose that creaminess, but it was really slippery as I blended it out, and now it's kind of pushed itself into the skin. Let me let this set and see if anything happens. But look, you can see just the texture on this, that it is a cream. I'm just gonna put this here. It feels really wet right now. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna use a BK Beauty 116 brush. I'm just putting this right on the product. And this shade is more orange than I was thinking it would be. I thought it would be a little bit more cooler and rosy, but nonetheless, it does make a pretty bronzer shade. I wouldn't necessarily say bronzer, but they do have those options available if you do want it to be. But I purposefully picked this shade because I thought it would be fun, a little unique. And honestly, on a pretty barefaced day, This would be really gorgeous on a summer vacation, right? Where you just want a little bit of color. You don't want to spend too much time. Bring a little bit across the nose for that sunburnt look. Definitely not going to shape anything. We'll use the Milani today for that. But that blended out really beautifully, honestly. And it meshed really well with that NYX product. I like that a lot. That looks really smooth and blended nice. And the glow, I can see a little bit of a subtle glow. Wait, that's gorgeous. I really like that. I'm intrigued and I love this color. Maybe I should have gotten Toasted Sunlight. I just wasn't sure I would like this product. Light to medium brown gold. But this felt a little wet at first. I wasn't too sure, but I think it just meshed into the skin. So stunning. Let's just build it up just a little bit. I'll put some on the outskirts of my face. I'm more interested in my Milani bronzer because this is a little pink. But this does make me look sunburnt. This is a true sunburnt color, but an intentional sunburn. Not like, like really natural. It looks good. It really, really does. Ooh, I think I like this product. Hopefully it lasts a long time. I feel like on my hand, it has set down. I wouldn't say like a true powder, but it does have this set down. And even in the area that I put it on and didn't blend it out, it is blending out now, but not wet. So there is a set down, but it's surprisingly almost greasy feeling. But I don't know, you guys. I feel like this is some high quality technology. I'm kind of really into this. Not normally a product I would pick. And let's just quickly try this on. This is by no means the star of the show today. I just picked it up to get to know what's out there at the drugstore. This is the new Maybelline Cloudtopia Cheek and Lip Mousse. This does not sound up my alley at all. It is $9.99. This is a lip and cheek mousse that's supposed to be light as a cloud. Get a blurred matte flush that lasts on cheeks, lips, or both. Is this supposed to be like the 2026 version of that mousse formula that was really popular when we were growing up? The mousse foundation. You know what I'm talking about. Huh. So it looks like a true cream, but you do feel that cloudy consistency. I know I have the bronzer on here already, but it does feel very K-Beauty-esque. Okay, let's see. I'm truly not expecting to love this because this is not my typical style of product. I picked up the shade Dreamy Dawn. I'm just open to having my mind change. Only gonna do one cheek because I want the Milani to sit on the cheek alone. On the other side, I mean, it's blended in softly. That's pretty. Let's try it on the lips. I normally don't like these kind of products on the lips. I can use this in a pinch on the lips with a lip liner and gloss. That doesn't look bad. I have dry patches on my lips and it applied much more even than I anticipated. I do think this blended out a little too much on my cheek. We've lost some of that color, especially if you have more pigment in your skin, more deep. But it did leave that soft matte finish. And I'm actually surprised at how nice it looks on the lips. I was ready to poo-poo on that on the lips. Honestly, better than I thought. I'm just taking my foundation brush, kind of blending everything in. Can you do your concealer? But I feel like when I did that, it did make this product completely blend away. I'm not sold on it yet. That's why speed reviews exist on my channel to keep using this. But it's better than I thought, but I'm still not sold. The bronzer was really what sold me, but this is not bad on the lips at all. I'm telling you, that's why I've been doing these drugstore videos, because what the heck, they've been really, really surprising me. I wanted to throw something quickly on the eyes. I have some bronzer in the crease, but Double Matcha Super Shock Shadow from ColourPop's kind of the star here. It's from there, and I think this is sold at Ulta. It just came, the Matcha and Mochi little Super Shock trio. Super duper cute. Anyways, let's talk about the totally reformulated, repackaged, revamped cheek line from Milani. The reason this is a big deal is because Milani for years has been known for their bronzers, blushes, and highlighters. And so they've completely redone the line. From what I can see, a lot of the same shades that were there before. So I picked up one of each formula. I'll probably go back for more, but I just wanted to see what we were working with because they are still, I think, $12.99 each. So the shades that I got for the highlight, I got Tuscan Tan. For the blush, I went with Sparkling Rosé. Do you think I should have gone with Luminoso? I can always go back. Maybe I'll run to Walmart or something today. And then highlight, I got Champagne Doro. So let's see, these are supposed to be ultra fine, ultra smooth. Milani for years has been compared to my beloved Hourglass, but they're more of an alternative. I've never felt as though they've been a dupe. CoverGirl also recently came out with super close to Hourglass kind of inspired products. So for the bronzer, I went with the second shade in the range. Amalfi Glow looks really light, the lightest one, but this is what the second shade looks like. It is really, really smooth. It's been years since I've used the Milani Baked Bronzer, so I can't say if this is an improvement in the formulation or not. I'll feel up the blush, but the bronzer I'm not sure. But you can see, real smooth. I've always loved drugstore bronzers. I've always thought they've had good options. That's quite powdery. I'm using this Makeup by Mario F2 brush. This is a little warm on my skin tone, but it is a bronzer after all. Quite pigmented. I'm wondering for quick haphazard applications, I might have preferred maybe a deeper shade or maybe a lighter shade. Now remember, this is a side I don't have that L'Oreal Lumi Bronze stick, but it does look really smooth in application. I don't think it had this buttery application on the skin, but it does look nice. And I'm gonna go over the L'Oreal here. Obviously I need to blend this better, but I'm just trying to get this into the hairline first. I'm just gonna very lightly go over this. This side doesn't need it so much. I am interested in picking up that Amalfi Glow shade if I run into it. The drugstore makeup in my area, it sells out so quickly in stores. I always have to just end up ordering. It's quicker. People must be watching the TikTok videos here. It's very, very nice. It's not, I might like the CoverGirl bronzer better that just launched. They're skin enhancers. I think these are a little easier to work with, but this does look pretty smooth. I'll have to do a side by side between those two formulas, but I mean, it is really nice. Looks good. Okay, let's try the blush. I didn't want to go with Luminoso. I wanted to go with a new shade to try out. So this is Sparkling Rosé, which I do have familiarity with the Milani blushes. They've always been really, really nice. Some of them I think were a little too metallic or glittery. This one looks nice and smooth. It does look a little bit more refined, I would say. But I am curious to pick up Luminoso now because I do have the old Luminoso. Really powdery though. You do get some kickback. So I'm going to tap off my brush. Pop this onto the apple of the cheek. They've done a really nice job marketing this product. I'm seeing it everywhere. That's pretty. It's actually not as glowy looking as I thought it was going to be. I do need to use a light hand just because of its more powdery nature. But it is a really gorgeous rose shade. It's blending out pretty nice. And then we're going to finish off with the baked highlighter. I was in between this and Dolce Perla, but this is Champagne Doro. And I forgot to tell you, on the back, it does say made in Italy with imported components, which is probably most likely the packaging. The baked portion of the product is probably Italian if I had to guess. But that's a really pretty kind of creamy gold. So let's see. I've been extra picky about highlighters lately. I just feel like they've looked quite textured on my skin lately. This would be beautiful on a medium complexion. It's just barely, I would say, an acceptable color on me, but that lighter shade looked like it would be too light for me. I think powder highlights are out, but I still prefer them. It looks okay. It is smooth looking. I'm not obsessed with it as a highlighter. It does build up extra glow if you want. I like it, I don't love it, but it does get the job done. Okay, overall with these Milani products, I'm definitely intrigued to pick up more shades and play around with them. Overall, they're very, very nice. I think they're a good drugstore option to pick up. I'm not sold on them being amazing. Like, I really felt like the CoverGirl ones were like really, really good. I'm not quite feeling that way with these. I do need to use a light hand. I do need to take my time with them, but they certainly get the job done. They're not a bad pickup at all. But again, we'll have to keep you updated. I picked up a couple of different lip liners to try. So back in the day before Morphe did their whole brand revamp, I used to love Morphe lip liners. They were so cheap. They were good quality. $7. They've redone the line. These ones are now made in China. I don't think they were before, but that's okay. Signature is the shade I got to try. They're only $7, so let's just try it. It's just like a good wooden pencil. And I feel like this is going to be a new staple in their line, so I wanted to try it out. This is very close to my natural lip color. Pretty creamy application. I don't think this will set down. Oh, just kidding. The shade of this is Wifey, which is described as a cool toned nude. I still feel like there's some peach in here. Brands suck at getting a true cool tone shade, I'm telling you. But looks nice. Okay, we'll keep you updated on this. But this is one that's not really gonna set down, I don't think. I think you can blend it out, which makes it more hydrating on the lips, also easier to reapply. But they have what looks to be great shades in the range. Wanted to give one a try. But this is one that was viral. It's not as new anymore, but I was super curious about, from CoverGirl. The Outlast Lip Stain. These are $11.99, so they're kind of expensive, but I thought the shades looked really unique, because a lot of times with these lip stains, they're like very neon colored, which I don't love. So I picked up the shade Honey Sculpt, which does look really yellow. What I wanted to get was Iconic Darling, but unfortunately that one was sold out. So I just wanted to test the formula here. My lips are so viciously dry. This is so unfair to this product, but you guys, it is what it is. Can you blend it? I don't know. Products like these don't really work out for me. I'm regretting it. Hold on. Let me take this off. I've been putting on lip masks in between. It's already stained. I can't get this off. I've been putting on lip masks in between, but don't even suggest nothing. It's the pregnancy, I think. I'm doing what I can. I mean, even then though, this shade is pretty unique for a product of this style. Hold on, let's see. Okay, this is kind of leaving a dark trail behind. I was hoping it would be a little softer. Maybe this is just not for my skin tone. Okay, I should have picked a different color. Just like a good old pink, you know? But these are supposed to stain the lips. That's the intention. So you'll always have color on your lips, but like, do I want this on my lips? Do I want this stained on my lips? I really don't think so. I should have picked a different color. Maybe something softer. I'm just learning, but it does stain. And you could put it all over, but I don't think I like the look of it all over. We're gonna fix this. It works though, it stains. And I'm interested in other colors, but the color that I got, Honey Sculpt, kind of hideous on me. This does not look like this at all. Okay, I don't really like this, but it does what it says it's supposed to do. Non-drying, lightweight buildable lip stain that stays put, doesn't feel tight, and feels fresh all day. I think it does do that, so it's good. I hate this color. So if you've tried this, what color should I get that will look better on me? Okay, I hate my lips, but we're just gonna move on. It does stain, but my lips are crusty right now. Anyways, here is the final look. So we had some more amazing discoveries from the drugstore. I am going to leave a note on how this ends up wearing. Not a blurring or smoothing product by any means, but feels pretty lightweight and fresh on the skin. And I do like that it is a soft matte finish. I think this will be great for oily skin, honestly, but this is not bad. Same thing with the concealer. I don't love it yet. It doesn't give me love at first sight like the foundation version of this, but it's getting the job done, but it is early to tell. This might be my favorite product in today's video. The Lumi Bronze from L'Oreal. Really cool cream to powder technology. And this shade Sunkissed Rosé is so nice for vacation. I was pleasantly surprised with the Cloudtopia Cheek and Lip Mousse from Maybelline. Not sold on it, but I thought I was gonna hate it. I didn't hate it. It applied on the lips much more even than I thought. I like the new Milani Baked Bronzer Blush and Highlighter line. I think they continue to be great options at the drugstore, but unfortunately for them, these launched very closely to the CoverGirl, and at least on first impressions, the CoverGirl is really taking the cake for me. But I'll continue to use these. I might feel different. I also am tempted to play with more shades and whatnot, but these are still really beautiful options. Morphe lip liner, just as good as I thought it was gonna be. CoverGirl, it did exactly what it said it was gonna do. I just despise the color because the color, it's hard to tell with these lip stains what they're actually gonna look like. Not a fan of this color on me. And make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel because obviously these are mostly first impressions, but if you subscribe to my channel, I do a series called Speed Reviews where I will update you after I've used these for a while, and it might have to be a drugstore themed one because I still have more products to test, and I've been testing, and the drugstore has been killing it lately, so I wanted to cover. Honestly, it's been more fun than covering the Sephora stuff with the launches. I am keeping an eye out at Sephora, of course, but I've had more fun with the drugstore launches, if I'm being honest. So if there's anything else you want me to try, let me know down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will have everything that I use and the shades that I use linked down below. Subscribe for those speed reviews for those final updates, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.